are live as of now. All right, hello and welcome, everybody. I am Brandon from Bad Tech and Gaming here with some more tech and gaming news. We have wow. Okay, that's loud. Apparently, I am playing on my own. Gaming here with some more tech and gaming news. We have wow. What is happening? There it is. Okay. And with that being said, we have a few people joining in with us. We have Scott. Hello.
How's it going?
And we have Alex. Are you there?
What's up?
Hey. So first and foremost, we're going to start with Google buying Fitbit. Now, if one of you wants to help me keep an eye on comments and such as well as we go through this, that'd be helpful. But before we begin, if you guys haven't already, consider subscribing, as this is we bring our passions to life through YouTube. With that, we're going to go ahead and go down. So Google buys Fitbit for $2.1 billion. Now, Fitbit has a very good name so far with smartwatches, fitness watches, and pretty much everything. They use a simple kind of operating system to kind of make everything work more efficiently. They have good battery life. You guys probably already know all that stuff. So the fact that Google buying Fitbit, the question I want to ask is, how will this impact the market? Does Apple have anything to fear? And can this now beat a Samsung Galaxy Watch? So we'll start off with that. Anybody else care to join in?
Well, look, so Fitbit's been the number 2 player in the smartwatches for a little while now, right? They've been right behind Apple. They're the only ones that have anywhere as close to the same amount of experience with the smartwatches as Apple.
Yes.
With their Versa 2, they hit a home run with the Versa series altogether. In fact, so much so that Apple just came out with their Series 3 for under $200, which is I think the only Apple device of any kind ever to be under $200. I don't think they have anything under $200.
Yeah.
So that's a direct response to the trouble that Fitbit has already been giving them. And so, I love that comment. Google Bit. That's awesome. TJ, way to go. So, I think Google is certainly, they've been trying to get in. They've been kind of hinting around some Google Wear for a while, but they've really, this latest round of new hardware releases from Google did not have any mention at all around some sort of a wearable device, right? So they've struggled to really enter the market. They don't really have the experience needed until now. I think you're going to see, Android phones already outsell Apple, right? The number one single manufacturer phone in the world is an Apple iPhone, but the number one selling phone OS by a long way is Android.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to see that just take off. This will be something that'll be good with any Android and probably Apple device, because Fitbit already is supported by Apple as well. So cross-platform, lots of features are coming. I think this gives Google the edge that they need to really take that market by storm, and we're going to see some great stuff.
Yeah, and you know what? I think my favorite thing here is that realistically, Google enters the hardware game on a smartwatch, and they do it with a company that a lot of people believe makes the best smartwatches. If nothing else, they make good, solid smartwatches that impact the market in a positive way. Pricing, battery, the things that people actually want. That's what I'm excited to see happening here. The fact that you could have either way, this works out in the benefits. So let's say, okay, Google software on a Fitbit smartwatch designed by Fitbit team. Great. The Fitbit software integrated into Google software with their hardware, also a great thing. I don't really think there's too much of a lose-lose unless Google comes in, tries to manhandle everything and take it all away from Fitbit, which I just can't see them doing. And let's see, we have, I see they're commenting on, we have 5 viewers. Hello, 5 viewers. But so yes, Android or Wear OS, Fitbit OS, all that stuff kind of coming together and creating one solid team, a made by Google smartwatch coming your way, I think is going to be a big deal. Alex, would you buy a smartwatch made by Google?
I mean, I'm not a huge smartwatch person.
Yeah.
But if they, if they do a good job and they don't make it feel like a huge brick on your hand, then possibly.
Yeah.
I think what gives Google the edge here, right? Android devices are selling 4-to-1 over Apple devices right now. So, like I said, by a long shot, they're outselling Apple. And the fact that it's cross-platform, so not only are they going to get the 4-to-1 benefit there by being more compatible with their own operating system, they're also compatible with iOS. So they're going to be able to be purchased by Apple users. Apple smartwatch only compatible with Apple device. The only hack that I've heard is to take your SIM card out of your activated Android phone, put it into an Apple phone, sync your Apple Watch, take it back out of your Apple phone, and then put it back in your Android, and you get some of the functionality of your Apple Watch with Android. That's the only hack I've been able to find.
Yeah.
So Apple's sort of shooting themselves in the foot by limiting their market to just their own, because I wouldn't mind trying an Apple Watch, but I'm not going to buy an iPhone to do it.
No, absolutely. And I agree with you 100% there. A lot of this comes down to how much you can use, what you can use it with. The thing I like here is, so I know Samsung smartwatches can be used with any device, but let's be honest as well, a lot of the Samsung smartwatches don't work all that well with other brands. Like, I've tried to use it on Google. It just wasn't the same experience. It wasn't as intuitive. It was slower to update things. I just can't say I was too impressed with what they had done as far as their kind of what they had put on it went on another device. So that actually made me go away from Samsung to begin with, because I like to switch phones. I like to go to different places. So Android versus iOS is just Microsoft versus Sony. You know what? You're not wrong. You're not wrong. And at this point, I don't know which rivalry would be bigger, to be honest. So I will move on to our very next subject. Do you have anybody? And look, so I asked a question. I said, would you guys buy a smartwatch if it was made by Google? And Cody says, no, I'm stopped. It's smart. Stupid. It's smart. DJ says, if it was called a Google Bit. And you know what? I think that name can actually catch on. Google, if you're watching, keep an eye out for that name. That is an awful name. And then I'm not really a watch person. So, but he says possibly. So that actually is, I mean, that's something to shake a stick at there. Someone who's maybe not a smartwatch person might consider it if it fits into what they have. So now I have probably the longest topic that I think we'll have on the stream today. I wanted to do this one second. So we have the Google Chromebook OS versus Android. Now, how does this conversation even come about? Why are we even having this? So again, guys, this is not even iOS versus Android. This is Chrome OS versus Android. Well, Dad, you and I were having a conversation, and Alex, feel free to weigh in. We were having a conversation that, hey, you know what? He likes his Chromebook. And I said, why buy a Chromebook when you can buy a Galaxy Tab S6? And that's pretty much how this whole conversation started. So that's where we're going to start right here. And Dad, I think you already have someone in your corner, Chromebook.
Yeah, Deshaun's on my side, it sounds like.
But I'll let you start with this one, since this one was your kind of idea, and I'll just kind of show off while you kind of go through some things.
Sure. Well, so I've got several Android-based tablets. I've got some of the Samsung ones. I've got some of the Amazon ones, the Fire tablets, right? Those are Android-based.
Yeah.
I also have an Asus C390 or 360 Chromebook. So I have both to play with, and I can understand.
Yeah.
So look, if you want something that you can walk around with and use as a tablet, there's definitely a feel to a tablet that you do not get out of a Chromebook, right? So even though my Chromebook, I can flip it, flip it backwards. In fact, I'm on the Chromebook right now. Otherwise, I'd show you.
Yeah.
Even though I can flip the screen backwards and use it as a tablet, there's still now a keyboard underneath. And Chrome OS does a good job of blocking the keys, so you're not typing a bunch of crazy stuff. But it's got the nice touch pad feel and everything else, but it's thick for a tablet. So if you want to use it as a tablet, I have to go with using, a Samsung Galaxy Tab S or something. However, that being said, I think as much as I would want to use it as a tablet, I think even more I use it as a lightweight laptop.
Yeah.
And with the Galaxy Tab, you can definitely get a keyboard, which I think you showed one earlier.
Yeah, I'm going up to it.
Keyboard attached to it. Here's the thing, though, is that keyboard that you're looking at right there, which is great, is a Bluetooth keyboard. Wonderful. Except now there's a couple problems with that. First, as many of you, if you've ever used a keyboard, Bluetooth keyboard, you'll know that from time to time it's laggy.
Yeah.
So that is going to be the case with a Galaxy Tab or any other Android-based tablet.
Yeah.
Plus, you're talking about Android tablet, not Chrome OS. So there are a few definite benefits to Chrome OS. For one thing, the Chrome browser is an amazing experience on a Chrome OS that it is not on a Windows machine, a Mac machine, or even an Android machine, tablet, phone, or otherwise. So the Chrome OS builds in the Chrome browser. It is very fast. It has every extension available to it. And it is completely isolated from the rest of the system. So it's got its own container that it runs in. And it is just absolutely amazing. So, that if you really are looking for a browsing solution, the Chromebook is just absolutely great. So, that's one of the big things that I see there. There are a few other interesting things. Chromebook now has full access to Play Store. So if it's in the Play Store, Chromebook can get it. That was a big downfall.
Yeah, that was huge.
Yeah. So that's a big thing. The other thing is that some of the applications that are available on Chrome or Android period are a little scaled back. So if you're looking for it to be a laptop, things like Office, they're really scaled back and you don't get full functionality. So if you want to do like an APA paper for school, right, Chromebook is probably not your friend because you're going to have a tough time getting all the APA controls that you need, like the bibliography and everything else. So it really scales it back. If you're an Excel power user, you're not going to be getting Power Pivot out of Excel. You're going to be able to do basic Excel worksheets, and that's it.
Yeah.
So for that, you're going to have to go to a PC. But if I wanted to do some lightweight of any of that stuff, I'd rather do it on a Chromebook than on a phone or a tablet, right? So those are a couple of things that I see. What are your thoughts?
So what I'm thinking is, and by the way, I just wanted to say we have a lot of comments. Hi, Steve Gamer, Deshaun, Pink Piggies, Cody. And just want to say hello to everybody real quick. But so Android, I feel like is a more versatile operating system. You can do more with an Android operating system. You can even load up a Linux operating system onto Android if you wanted to, i.e. Samsung DeX. Now, a lot of these tablets do also have pogo pins, so they're not always Bluetooth anymore. Like the Tab S6 actually isn't only Bluetooth. It does actually connect in. But most of them are Bluetooth. This is more like a Samsung tab or like the Surface, Microsoft Surface, than it is going to be like it's separated kind of thing. Now, also the pen input on a Samsung device is just going to be superior. Now, that's not just Android; that one's Samsung specific. But the Tab S6 really is the only thing. There's the pogo pins right there. You can see them. So Samsung is the only one making tablets that I would put in a category to compete with the Chromebook. You can download all the apps you can get on the Chromebook. You can have Google Chrome on there. You can customize everything a ton more on an Android as well. You can take out, so if you like to draw, you have to take notes or anything like that, you can actually take out the keyboard and just have a paper thin tablet to draw on. By the way, Nitron Games just donated $1. Just want to give a shout out. Didn't see any comments with that. Thank you so much, Nitron. We appreciate any donations that you give to us. Shout out to Nitron. He also has a YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe to him. But with that being said, that's my argument for why I would pick an Android device. Just the overall versatility. I can do more and I have less bugs. It has all apps that work with it. Sure, some of them might scale up, to make the size of the screen, but no matter what, I can work with it and it'll work more consistently, in my opinion. That last portion there is my opinion. And Synchros just says, we are talking mobility. And you know what? I think Samsung just wins here with the mobility being a tiny device, and whereas the Chromebook, it's more of a computer. It's more of a PC. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was say that's why I started out the conversation with it depends on what you want to use it for. If you're looking for that mobility, yeah, I think the tablets are the way to go.
My name is
Wow, that was loud. Coco's really loud.
Yeah, so that's definitely the way. But if you're looking for something inexpensive and powerful enough to bring to school or whatever to do some work on, Chromebook's a good option. But yeah, I will say there's also a difference in the Chromebooks, right? If you go out to Walmart and you pick up the $200 Chromebook, you're not going to be happy with that. It's most of those are underpowered, and they'll work fine if you're just browsing the web, but don't load up any apps, that sort of thing. You're going to be very disappointed.
And that's actually why I like the Samsung tablet, because you know what? It may not be the most powerful thing, but these apps are more designed for these tablets, this hardware. So I can actually do that video editing on the go. I can actually do that 4K, which you can't do with the Chromebook right now. I don't have to worry about those things. It'll just work for me on an Android tablet, because Android's just made for it.
Well, that is a deficit on the Chromebook. You're right. So you can do 4K, but you've got to use one of the lesser editors, right? You got to use like on my Asus, I can use some of the I can't remember the name of the editor I use now, but KineMaster on the Chromebook doesn't support 4K 60 frames per second. I don't understand why. Seems like a basic thing that everyone should support these days.
Yeah.
However, that is about to change because Adobe Premiere Rush is going to be on the Chromebook. I'm hoping by the end of this year. They've been saying it since April, so we'll see.
Yeah.
But Adobe Premiere Rush is a game changer for mobile video editing. It's already available on my Samsung phone. It's already available on iOS devices. It's already available on some Android tablets. It is not available on any Chrome OS yet. So, but again, it's what hardware you get. If you go spend $200 on one, you're probably not going to be happy with any of it. But if you go up and spend $600-700 on the Asus, or go up and spend $1,000-1,300 on either the Samsung Chromebook or the Pixelbook, you're going to be real happy with those, but you're going to pay for them.
Yes, and real quick, Synchro says the editor doesn't matter so long as you know how to use it. KineMaster supports 4K apparently on Samsung. LOL. And yes, I actually do on like my Note 9. It has to be powerful enough though. If you don't have a powerful enough device, it will not work. It won't even show you the option, I don't think.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? On the Chrome OS, my Asus is more than powerful enough to do 4K video editing. For whatever reason, KineMaster does not support it on my Chrome OS. So I don't know why.
Yeah. And Pink Piggies, I would like to ask, what Chromebook do you have? I would like to know if you don't mind sharing. And I'm trying to pull up. So I pulled up another review. That actually is pretty much exactly what I was referring to. Good notepad, bad notebook.
Right. So again, what do you want to use it for? Right. That's what it all boils down to.
Yep. And I think they both have some serious highs and some serious lows. I mean, I can't see myself buying, especially because I have a Samsung phone personally. It's like, man, the tie in there is just going to be deep. On my Note 9, which I'm currently using to play the music on right now, I actually have my S Pen. Did you know this S Pen right here can work on that Tab S6 device? but will not work on the Asus Chromebook. So, there are also little things like that in there that make it nicer for me to consider something like this.
Yeah, you want a pen, you got to go up to the Pixelbook. That's going to cost you.
Yeah, and this is so $679. Now, how much is that Chromebook? That one. Which one do you have?
I have the C302CA right there on the right.
Okay, so starting at $499. How much did you pay for yours?
I got the upgraded version, so I've got more memory and stuff. So I think I paid $599 for mine. I think it's about $100 more.
So realistically, then it sounds like let me go. There it is. Perfect. We're gonna go to Best Buy. We're gonna give her a shout out to Best Buy. Yeah, come on, go. And so yeah, that $649.99. I mean, they're really close to the same price. I mean, you basically choosing between very, very similar devices with just different people in mind that are going to use it. Now, Synchro says, if I wanted to get a laptop, I just get the Samsung 9 series laptop. They do actually have Windows laptops now, but I have a very big argument against why I would not buy a Samsung laptop. But that's for a whole nother discussion that we won't touch on that today.
We'll do a review of my new PC once I put that order in.
But continuing forward, so I think that's pretty much it. What are you going to use the device for? I guess if someone were to ask me, Brandon, should I buy a Samsung Galaxy Tab S6 or a Chromebook? My first question would be, what do you want to use it for? What are you going to do with it? Why do you want this device? What computers do you already have in your home? Me, I have, let me show you, the Lenovo Legion Wi-Fi 4.5 laptop. I don't know if you can see that at all, but that's what I'm currently using. That's what I always use. That's what I will always use to do these streams, to do everything. So I don't need a powerhouse computer to do my stuff. So I just need something light I can draw on, and then I can use quickly in a pinch. Whereas this one might take a minute to pop out because it's a bigger laptop. And let's see, I have a Lenovo Chromebook. The Lenovo ones were pretty good. I think there's C40 or something like that, C450, I don't know, something crazy like that. Alex, are you there?
Yeah, what's up?
So if I asked you Samsung Galaxy Tab S6 or Chromebook, what do you want and why?
Well, probably would go with the Tab S6 because I've used the Chrome OS before, and this was granted a long time ago, but I've never been a fan of it.
Yeah.
It just seems very, very locked down in what you can do, which is why I've always preferred Android. But, I mean, again, it's been a long time since I've used Chrome, so it could be different, but
yeah.
Yeah, they have definitely been doing a big push, right? Google is pushing Chrome OS now in a big way. We've seen a lot of commercials. Oh yeah, they're touting super fast boot times, which that's no joke. My Asus will boot literally in 3 seconds. I hit the power button and there it is. It boots faster than my Android phone. Let's just say.
You know what's funny? I actually get my Windows laptop, my Lenovo Wi-Fi 4.5 laptop. I actually get that to boot in like 5-6 seconds. I mean, it's ridiculous. Maybe 12 at the most if I have to do something. But I turn it on. By the time I open it up, turn it on, sit down and look at it, it's already on. It's already ready to go.
The problem with sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say I've been impressed with what some of these newer, more powerful laptops have done.
Yeah, here's the notorious Windows curse, though. Give it a year, unless you've reformatted it, it's not going to be 6 seconds anymore.
And that is also the Android curse. So not
the
just
Android
Windows,
curse, but not the Chromebook curse. The Chromebook doesn't put as much into its startup, which is why it starts so friggin' fast. It loads the base OS only, and then you're ready to go. And then in the background, there's not a lot of services running in the background like there is on a Windows box or a Mac box or whatever.
Right.
So that's one reason it can boot so fast. Plus native antivirus.
Yeah, that's true.
They don't even have that on the Android devices. I'm not sure why, but built into the Chromebook, antivirus in Chrome OS at the kernel level. It is super fast. It does not drag your machine down. I don't know why they don't do that on Android.
I agree. With that being said, we're going to move forward. Now, this one might be a quick topic, might be a little bit longer. Oh boy, what's this? Going back. So Facebook, well, they unknowingly shared private group data with partners. And I just wanted to touch on Facebook. What is up with Facebook? I feel like every single time I look on the news, they have some sort of privacy concern. And that's really what the big big question is here. What do you think about Facebook's privacy concerns? And just so that way we have a bad tech and gaming kind of statement on what do we think about this? Because they're just always in the news for something bad.
Well, so all right, I got two sides to this coin. First of all, yeah, Facebook. Let's talk about Cambridge Analytica. There was a flaw in Facebook's security controls, in its privacy controls, and Cambridge Analytica made a huge amount of money pulling data from about 87 million users on Facebook. There were political influences that were done from this. There's all kinds of problems with what they did there, and they shelled out a $5 billion fine. That's B with the billion with a B, right?
Yeah.
So that's a huge problem. Now we're looking at on the same side of that coin, we're looking at what's coming in. Facebook has your information. If I got to tell you, 8 years ago, I went to a big data conference, and what they can mine out of Facebook data is unbelievable. Every time you like something or add something to your profile, people have those companies then have access to your information. So if you go to XYZ clothing store and you buy something from them with your credit card, they have your information. You go to Facebook and you say, you know what, this is a great vendor. I now like their page or like their whatever. They on Facebook now can extend what they know about you into your Facebook profile. And not only that, they can also see some of your friends and who you like and what things you're doing online. So they have all this information, and then they can actually not just target ad to you, they can target ad to your friends. Hey, Brandon bought this thing from us. You might like it too because you're friends with Brandon. They have that ability today. They've had that ability for a decade. So that's the one side of the coin. The other side of the coin is if you're going to stand on top of a street corner with a megaphone blasting all of your private information out to everyone who walks by, you got to expect you're not going to have private information anymore. And that's what Facebook is. So you've got to be careful. You got to understand what you're putting out there. And if you're not comfortable with the world knowing what you're putting there, then don't put it there.
Yeah. Pretty much. I mean, that's just how you got to think about the world and the privacy concerns, all this stuff that's going on is, I mean, your stuff is out there. And I used to work in sales a lot with phones. Actually, I sold phones for a very long time, and I dealt with a lot of people that said, well, why should I buy Android? It's just the most useless piece of junk ever. It's going to just get hacked. I said, well, to be honest with you, your stuff's out there. If they want it, they're probably not going to get it from your phone directly. They're probably going to get it from one of your accounts like Facebook, Google, Gmail, all that stuff. I mean, they have more access than people realize. And basically what I tell people, I said, if you really are concerned about privacy, don't get on social media. Don't have a YouTube account. Don't even log into this phone. Don't use it. Don't do it. Don't get on the internet. I mean, that's the only way.
That's exactly right. That you're exactly right. That's if you've got to understand what you're putting out there. And like I said, if you're going to yell your social security number out to everybody walking by on the street, and then one of those people uses your social security number to buy a Tesla car, then you can't get mad at that person for you. I mean, you gave him the information, right?
Right.
So, and you can't get mad at Tesla for selling it to. I mean, seriously, there are laws. I understand that, and the new GDPR laws are very, very strict internationally. U.S. abides by those laws. All the European nations abide by those laws, and they're very, very strict. However, once again, I say it. If you're not comfortable with the world knowing what you're about to post online, then don't post it because it could easily be shared with the world.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think with that, we will move on to our next kind of topic here. But closing statements. I think what we learned today. Alex, do you have anything to say on this particular topic? You can just chime in, say yes or no.
I'm just glad that I don't use Facebook anymore because it's mostly owned by Russians at this point, considering the amount of information they give them.
Yeah, well, I don't know if I believe that, but most of the ads I think maybe are.
Yeah, owned by somebody.
Only slightly exaggerated.
So I think we for all the people that are out there watching this right now, we just learned something. Maybe you didn't learn it, maybe you already knew it, but just reinforced it. You know what? Be careful what you put on the internet. You can't take it back. Once it's out there, it's gone. And all these social media accounts that you're signed into, heck, the one you're watching on right now has probably got some information on you that you didn't realize they had. So be very careful and just know what you're getting into.
By the way, I do an entire talk, both where I work and out to high schools, middle schools, things like that. I've got some recorded videos out there that those schools use on big data, and it goes over exactly this topic: what's out there about you, how are the people collecting data, and what can it be used for. So maybe one of these days I'll do one of those, record it on YouTube, and then let everybody take a look. Probably
be a good thing to do. And with those final notes, we'll kind of move on to the next subject where, Alex, if you just prepare yourself, this is going to be the one that you wanted. But before we get there, we have A1M Dragon, who is actually one of our longtime subscribers, who says, hey, what the heck's happening here? Well, this is Badcast Tech and Gaming News, where we bring the latest and greatest tech and gaming news and some different topics every week, 5 different ones at least, maybe 4 if we have something big going on, to you in the way that we think fit. So that's pretty much what's happening here. And then to touch on what we had done before, by the way, Brandon Synchro says, Samsung is officially now outselling Apple in the mobile market in the United States. I got to admit, that makes me a little bit happy because I've always been a Samsung fan. Although I am Samsung fanboy versus Apple, so Pokestone and I don't always get along with that kind of stuff. With that, we're going to go ahead and move on. So, Alex, The Outer Worlds. This is a game that both you and myself have been playing. What is this game? Why is it any good? And who is it that says bad things about it? I'll let Dad share that, but go ahead and give me some information. What's Outer Worlds?
So basically, it's Fallout 76 for people who actually want a good game. It's exactly as Fallout should have been. Nice and simple, no additional microtransactions, no paywall, no $120 a month subscription, which we might be talking about later. And it's just a good first-person open-world game, and there's nothing too fancy about it. There's nothing too complicated about it. You go around, you shoot things. Sometimes it's robots, sometimes it's an alien.
Yeah.
And eventually the game's over, and you'll wish that you keep playing it, and you might play it again.
Yep.
Nothing fancy about it, just a good old-fashioned open world game.
Man, I honestly, I've been playing this game too, and I spent about 6 hours playing, and I'm looking at these monsters appearing on screen thinking, I fought that. Wait, what the heck is that? That's pretty much what I'm thinking. So, boy, I have a lot more to see in this game. But yes, so real quick before I let you continue on that, I have played this game, like I said, 6 hours. I've gotten pretty far into it, not like super far. Man, is it fun. It is so much fun. Single player campaign. That's pretty much all there is. If anybody remembers Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, this is very reminiscent of a cross between that and Fallout, of course. So it literally feels like a Fallout KOTOR had a baby. That's what this looks like. Anyway, continue on.
You pretty much summed it up really well there.
Cool.
For anyone who played KOTOR.
I mean, it
reminds me a lot of that.
You're basically a space pirate. It's awesome.
Pretty much.
Now, Dad, there was also an article that was, so a lot of articles have been raving about this in a great way, but we actually found one earlier that wasn't really raving about it in a positive way. Do you remember which one that was, Dad?
Yeah, full disclosure, never played it. But you know, I don't know who has time to play video games these days, right?
Yeah.
Except maybe you two.
Yeah, me. I do. I just type me into the chat too, so everybody knows that was me.
If it's not Minecraft or farming simulator, well, I'm probably not playing it. But Wired magazine actually did one. It says The Outer Worlds, an anti-capitalist game that's too much work. That's the title. They go on to describe how there's too many pointless quests, and if you just want to sit back and relax, I don't know. It just doesn't seem like it's doing it for this writer here on Wired. But I mean, one out of 1,000 articles that has some negative stuff. I guess you're not going to please everybody, right?
Yeah, and you know what? I think I haven't really done anything that I felt was absolutely pointless in this game. I've spent a pretty good amount of time playing on it and just goofing around. I mean, there's been times when I'll go around, I will just kill all the monsters just because I can. Like, why not? And there are other times when I'm going along with the quests, and this quest might be a little bit boring, not pointless, because it has something to do with the story. An example. So in portion of it, I actually had to convince a couple of people that they had to come back to a certain town before I can leave the planet. And in order to do so, I got to leave the planet. But it took me a few minutes. I had to convince two separate people. And by the second one, I was able to predict exactly how it was going to play out based on the first one. So it was, you know what? It was, maybe it was a little bit repetitive, but in the end, it was those were the two people I had to convince to get off the planet. It made sense. There was a to-do. So I didn't really have a problem with it. And it was only two. So it wasn't like, oh my gosh, I did 18 different people I had to convince and do them all in the exact same way. And they were actually two different towns I had to go to convince them to do this. So
yeah. If someone wants too many side quests, go play Borderlands. I'm playing that right now, the second one.
Yeah.
I have 15 side quests that I'm currently working on and one main story mission. So if they want some extra side quests, there you go.
Yes, and I'm clicking on this photo on purpose. I actually killed one of these things in the game. This is a mega unit, and it is awful. It's hard to kill. It took me like 3 tries, and I mean it was just hard. It was so hard to knock down. So the game's not easy as well, and I always like a good challenge. But yeah, so that's our quick thoughts about it so far. I mean, again, a lot of the menu systems navigate the way you would expect a Fallout. I mean, even down to the blurred background and the focused on the person's face whenever you're actually in gameplay. It's just very, very reminiscent. The art style. I'm trying to find one. There it is. Of like the buildings and stuff. You can always see here. Oh boy, that wasn't what I wanted. Let's just go open image in new tab. There you go. So you can see, I mean, it looks just like a Fallout game. I mean, down to the all the random piping that you always have on pretty much any Fallout game you've ever played, to everything's got soft edges, nothing sharp edges. Just little things like that. And Synchros cracks me up. He says, I don't care. I just love games. But yes, so very fun, very good. Any final thoughts?
Looks like a fun game.
How about you, Al? Any final thoughts? Anything else to say before I go?
Would recommend it to anybody who likes open world games. Play this over Fallout 76 because you'll actually enjoy your life.
Also, what is that thing? Have you played one of those yet? Have you faced one of those, Al?
I have no idea. To be honest, my screen's too small. I can't tell what that is.
Oh, it's like some sort of robot thing. It does not look fun. Does not look fun. But anyway, we'll go ahead and we will move on. Let me see. So speaking of Fallout 76, we have some... and before we move on, it looks like Nitron says, I used to play Borderlands so much when I was younger. That game brought me nothing but side quests. So that kind of goes with your point there, Al.
Yep.
Speaking of Fallout 76, so you let's set the playing field here. Dad, you can join in on this too. Let's say you buy a game, you spend $60 on this game. What's the last thing you want to do as soon as you get home?
Yeah, I'm not buying anything more for it. That's for sure.
You don't want to pay anything else for it. You know, I pay for Xbox Live. I pay $10 a month or $14 a month plus when I get the Game Pass.
Yeah, the only thing
to give them the benefit of the doubt, about a week after Fallout 76 launched, they lowered the price to $30 because no one was buying it because it was such a turd. I mean, they literally took all of the fun parts of Fallout 4 and removed them and gave us all the parts we didn't like, and then added some features we also didn't like.
Hashtag turd in the chat. Yeah, it did not sell well. It did not do well. It was interesting to say the least as far as their launch went. But them adding in, and now, Al, what do you get? You get some perks with this too.
So, and I'm probably wrong on some parts of this, but you basically get, you can have your own private server, which I'll get to in a second because it's not what you might think it is. And you get a bunch of in-game money that you have to actually purchase in real life. So I don't know what it's called. It was like 1,300 something gold or whatever.
Yeah.
Which you can use to buy cosmetics, which are just a complete waste of time.
Yeah.
You get a bunch of cosmetics, which is a complete waste of time, and one of them is like a Fallout New Vegas skin or something that you really can't even see for the most part, so there's no point in really having it.
Yeah.
And then you get some sort of a box or something that you can put an unlimited amount of junk in.
Yeah.
Which, first off, is extremely overpowered to have and is a bit of a pay-to-win aspect of the game. But second off, it doesn't even work because people quite often will put their junk inside of it and then come to the very, very grim realization they can't actually take it out.
Yeah.
So it's basically just a big garbage dump.
Yeah. And I was just reading this article real quick, if I might interrupt a little bit. It says the dedicated Fallout 76 subreddit is not enthused. Some early impression threads include, "I can't even defend it. Is this an out of season April Fool's joke?" And then just wow, Bethesda, just wow. So those are some of the comments that people were making. And this is real people that were making these comments, not just some reviewers.
Yeah. So one of the funny things about their so-called private servers is you cannot set it to invite only, first off. So if you have 1,000 people on your friends list, they can just join you whenever, and there's nothing you can do about it. Another thing is people have noticed when they join into the game that sometimes they'll find dead NPC characters and things that have been looted because Bethesda didn't bother to reset the server before you joined it, which takes about a half a second to do, and just restock everything with loot. So it's they're on the right track, but they need to add this and they need to add that. But they're so greedy.
Yeah.
They have no idea of how to add it, and they don't know how to make people happy. I mean, they're worse than Diablo 3 when they released a mobile game as the only thing they're releasing and got booed live on stage, which was hilarious. If you didn't see that, by the way, go look it up.
Yeah.
But if you want a really good, honest opinion of Fallout First, go to falloutfirst.com and spell out the word first, because Bethesda didn't even bother buying the web page for it. And
where was it?
I'm not going to say what it says because there's a lot of F-bombs in it. But it gives an honest opinion of the Fallout First subscription, and it's absolutely hilarious, and it'll probably make you cry of laughter. Never buy a Bethesda game again, basically.
Yeah, it's not looking happy. They're kind of pulling an EA with a lot of this stuff, just in a different way. But that's a topic for another day.
Well, I never thought I would say this, but they're actually worse than EA at this point.
Yeah,
at least EA can make a game that actually looks good and plays decently. There may be nothing to it. But...
Some random bloke named David James just commented. What
a loser!
So I wanted to wrap up and kind of before we go to the last 10 minutes of where we just kind of chat about random stuff that we've already chatted about. I wanted to go and kind of read this to everybody. So Pokemon Go is going to be our last one here. Pokemon Go is getting a live AR multiplayer feature called Buddy Adventure. Now, what on earth is this? The game's already an AR-based game, so why the heck would I be interested in this? Well, Niantic, I don't know how to say it, also has a few other announcements on the AR platform, opening up its Wayfair, blah, blah, blah. But let me see if I can find exactly. So using the existing buddy system, you'll then be able to go on an adventure with that person. It's not quite clear what the adventure entails, but there's a cute little demo. Now, one of the things that these allow you to do is they actually allow you to pet and play with your animals. I'm sorry, Pokemon, kind of live. You get to interact with them live, and you get to actually look over and see your friend actually interacting with these Pokemon in AR in real life. And again, it's adding into their next generation augmented reality tech. So this is just something that's really cool that they're going to be doing. Let me see. Pair with it, you'll be able to go and sit. Where was it that said that? There you go. Niantic will also bring Impress AR occlusion technology. I don't even know how occlusion technology, which allows AR objects to interact more realistically with real-world ones. It's a real-world platform. The set of technologies and developers that they're making available to third-party app game makers. So, and it's going to kind of add into the way that you play phone games could actually be different in the future. It could actually be heading towards this augmented reality that we have been seeing and hearing about for so long. Would something like this would make you want to play this, Alex? Al, you out there? He might have gotten distracted with his dogs. But I'm trying to see if I can't find. There's not really any images or much going on with all this that aren't some sort of animated thing that's already been kind of fudged out there. People have been going crazy making videos and photos about stuff like this. But I was really hoping I could find this. Coming, you're a gamer. Let's see if I can't find a video of it real quick. Maybe not as much, but you actually get to see Pokemon with their buddy Pokemon that are running around with them. Very cool. Let's see. It doesn't look like we'll have really any good things, but that's the idea that's coming to it. A whole lot more interaction, which is going to be a lot of fun, and something that we haven't seen before coming to Pokemon Go. And David James says, it looks like we got a couple Pokemon Go players. AR and Pokemon actually a perfect fit for a game. I agree, and I think it's going to be something that's kind of fun going forward as well. Now, if anybody in the chat has any comments they would like us to, or any topics they'd like us to kind of go over and touch on again, feel free. Dad, while we're waiting on some of them, and David James actually says, "Oh, it looked really cool. Pokemon Go." I play Pokemon Go. Just want to read some of those comments. Is there anything that you want to touch on that we haven't been able to touch on so far, or maybe that we didn't go on deep enough with or forgot something?
Well, back to the Pokemon Go. This is one that I play, but augmented reality is really coming to starting to come to life, right? First it started out with stickers that you could put on your photos. Then pretty soon I could have a dancing stormtrooper, with a video off of my phone. You could have your, the facial, have your face swap with someone else, or you can put other masks or things on your face. And now it's coming into video games. Even Amazon's getting into the AR field with some of the furniture products that they offer. Through Amazon, you can hold your phone up and see what that piece of furniture is going to look like in your house, right?
Yeah,
it's very cool. Once they start getting, I've even seen recently they've got some of the Oculus stuff that has cameras on it so that it can see what you're seeing in the room, and then put AR, layer of AR on top of that as part of the video gaming experience. And that, I think, is what's really going to light up AR, right? Pokemon has always been sort of a cutting edge thing in terms of augmented reality video games. But once you start getting it once you start blending AR and VR together, you're going to really start to see some impressive games. Let's just make sure that a Star Wars lightsaber duel is one of those.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, that would be a ton of fun, especially if it's on if you can somehow display it onto a TV screen and see yourself battling something. That'd be awesome.
Right.
I think AR with VR is going to be one of those really cool things that comes up. I think it's going to last. You know, they kind of touched on it a lot. Similarly with, you remember the Xbox Kinect?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They kind of did something similar. It wasn't quite AR, but it took you and put you into a game. And that's kind of what it looks like they're trying to do with some of these buddy things, make you more of a part of this game rather than make the game come to you.
Right.
And I think that's going to be where that maybe that Kinect actually comes back to life through something like that.
Yeah, except for, like I said, once you start putting VR into it, it kind of flips it around. No longer are you getting put into the game. The game's being put into your environment. And so once they start figuring out how to make virtual objects interact with your physical layout, wherever you're at physically, you're really going to start to see some interesting things. I watched a television show, and I don't remember the name of it recently. It was a series, and this family with these little girls. The little girls got a VR headset, and they had an augmented reality video game in there, and it was sort of a horror type movie or horror show. So the little girls were looking, and there was giant spiders running around and zombies and demons and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Let me just tell you, it scared the pants off those little girls, man. They were not happy about that at all. And that's where we're going, right? Where you're going to be able to put this on, and you're now going to have Walking Dead in your living room. And that's pretty cool. I think that's a future that's not too far away.
Yeah, no, and I mean we are very close to that. And I know with the Oculus that we did the kind of the discussion on, I think it was last week.
A couple weeks ago, yeah.
That also was, again, that's just to the point. That's where it's coming. It's coming into your living room. Real quick, we can do a couple of honorable mentions, then kind of end everything up because it doesn't look like we had too many people asking for repeats this go around. And with that being said, the honorable mentions would be something along the lines of, we have, what is it that's coming out? We have Disney Plus coming out on the 12th. On Tuesday. So everybody be prepared for us to say something about Disney Plus. We're going to have hopefully quick reviews, some sort of information about it as it launches, as soon as it launches, to let you know whether or not it's worth you buying or not. So keep an eye out for that. We also have, we don't have, but the Google Stadia, what's that, on the 16th or the 19th? Is that
19th.
19th. Yeah, right. Actually, you know what? I can go. But yeah, so that'll be here shortly.
1 week later.
Be exciting.
Yep.
I'm very excited for that. So there's a couple of things on the honorable mentions there. And then, by the way, the Surface Pro and the Surface X, all those things, most of them have already launched. They're already here. So you can go check them out on live. Not live. You can check them out online pretty much any time if you would like as well. All these things that we talk about, and if they have launch dates, we try to put them on here for you guys. And sometimes we even upload our entire schedules, so you guys can feel free to copy those if you would like onto whatever it is that you use for a calendar. But yes, keep an eye on there. That's where we keep everything updated. That's on Bad Tech and Gaming's website. The URL is up here if you want to pause and type it in somewhere, or you can head over to Discord and check it out yourself. If you guys haven't already, consider subscribing, as that's what we do here on YouTube. Like, that's just it. That's all we know. But this is where we bring our passions to life through YouTube. And this is where we try to grow, create new series for everybody to enjoy. Let us know what you think about this. This is very much so kind of a beta test for what we want to do with this show. If you can see up in the corner, that's got that's powered by StreamYard. Because again, we're testing this out. We want to get your feedback on what you think we actually can do to improve upon. Do you have any closing statements?
I think are we changing the day on this yet? Do we know?
Yes, we are. We'll be changing the day to Monday at 8. So same exact time, but Mondays instead of Wednesdays. So anybody who pencils this in on their calendars, which is, a ton of people, but that this is going to be changing days. So be prepared for that. Also, next Wednesday, our Minecraft stream will still be available. So I won't be doing 2 streams in one day. I will be doing 1 stream on 2 days, or well, technically 2 streams on 2 days. But so just keep an eye out for that. We have Dave saying dueling random people in a park to lightsaber duels. That'd be kind of fun. Oof from Pink Piggies. Walking Dead, throw people into the zombies. I guess that's just a comment on the VR. What's your favorite Pokemon, Brandon? I have to say Charizard, because of where it comes from. It has 3 evolutions and also has a Mega Evolution. Just one of my favorites. It can fly. I kind of always wanted to have a dragon. Anyway, and then David James says, or board up your own house from AR zombies, kind of like the Call of Duty zombies, where they tear down the wall and you have to board it back up. That would be a fun thing to do. Anyway, with that being said, if anybody else Alex is already gone, so I guess it's just you and I finishing up then. I would like to say goodbye, everybody. And Dad, would you like to say goodbye to everybody, or have anything else?
Have a great rest of your week.
All right. These videos will be coming out all week, so prepare for those. Watch those, like, and give us a thumbs up whenever you see them come out. Goodbye, everybody. Nitron says subscribe to Bad Tech Gaming. Thank you, Nitron. Goodbye.